Yeah.
Test.
I don't hear any.
You have to hit the buttons. No, the mics are 1 and 2. There we go.
Oh, you only get 1 or 2. They won't.
Maybe on the bottom. Oh, God.
Can you hear me? Testing.
Not through these.
Testing.
Might have to get
Testing. You hear me now? Oh, we need you, buddy. We're not getting no sound. This is what Dave Pete's just gonna be chirping.
Something just happened.
Test.
You're the part where I was like, hey, I'll be out there if you need anything, let me know. Next time I'll add, like, before you start pushing buttons.
I press 1, 2, 1, 2.
I heard something in my head.
Hello.
Yeah, it seems like.
Oh, there we go.
There it is.
Hello.
We're in
Are we here?
very loud now.
You guys okay?
Yep.
Remix.
How do we turn it down a little bit here?
In the cans. Oh, don't want that.
You don't want to turn it down too well. That's good.
Yeah, there it is.
That's good.
You can also adjust those dials at the top right. There's one control the headphones.
Gotcha. Perfect.
Monday Night Lives. Eaters. The Whalers. The No Stars. The standings, what you want? We got everything for you, buddy. Yeah.
There we go, boys. Here, little touch and go, a little rough start, but here we are. We're without our sound tech, Dave P. Doesn't offer much on the microphone, but guess we need him a little bit to get the mics going. But here we are. Is this episode 4 of the podcast? I mean,
It might be
I think
4 or
we've missed
5.
one. I think this
Four or
is.
five.
I think this is number 4. So, no vape. You got your de facto host playing Piercy, Troy Otto, and we got Loosey Goosey with us, and special guest Matt. Do not call me Guma. Pride of the Americans joining us.
Oh, yeah.
Clap it up, boys. Clap it up.
Yeah,
There we
here
go.
Thank you. I appreciate the invite.
I'll say, I mean, we've been calling him Gumma on the podcast and chat rooms, for 1.5 seasons now. And I've also subbed with Mr. Guma multiple times, never said anything. And then yesterday, or Monday night, we're subbing. I'm subbing for the Americans. He's like, it's Guma, by the way, no big deal. It's like a year and a half later, But so here he is, Matt Guma. It's going to take me a while to do that. But for the folk, guys, introduce yourself. Most people know you by now, but if I memory serves correct, Panty Dropper went down with an injury last year, and Doug Milson is somehow the connection that invited you. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about that.
Doug, man, what a
How you know him and all that jazz.
gentleman, eh?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, he's what a guy. So, Doug and his wife and my wife are good friends.
Okay.
And I think when Doug first came here, I vaguely remember. My memory's horrible. we needed a sub or two on a Friday night team or a Tuesday night team. I think he came, had a cup of coffee with the team, and then he took off.
Gotcha.
So he remembered what a great player I was,
What a standout all-star you got
and thought he was bringing in a ringer. And unfortunately, I failed him that year, and I'm still holding back. By the way, I'm still holding back.
Well, and then I guess that brings us to this year. And not to put you on the spot here, but I just want to know. I mean, Dougie's a listener of the show. Piercy, the other GM of the Maroons, is the former host of the show and producer. So, you're at the draft. Come around to the Maroons in the 8th, 9th round. I mean, we're in Guma territory here. I mean, it's just like right for the pickings, and I'm just like, pencil it in Guma, and then he passes you over. So how upset were you then?
You know what? It was fine. I was all right with it.
We wanted some fireworks.
So, but
Some drama, baby.
but to fast forward, I get picked by the Americans.
Yep.
Which is great. And I did want a little bit of revenge when I played my old team.
Yep.
So I did throw a little bit of, fuel on the fire game time, and we basically, can we cuss on this?
Yeah,
Oh, fuck yeah.
So we basically shit the bed.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get back, but then it's like it's a long season. We'll win a game, and it's it's even a longer season.
Yeah, we got stats right here. The standings right
So-
here with the wins and losses. Not looking good.
So it wasn't a little like, oh yeah, this is going to be my team. I'm good. I'm golden. But you don't expect anything in the game. So
Yeah, there you go. Well, and we'll as we go along, we'll get your thoughts on the Americans. Before we do that, a little bit of MNL news, as everyone knows. Thanks to our governor keeping us safe, we have a 3-week pause. I don't think anyone. I mean, I hope that we're playing in 4 weeks, but I don't think anyone really has that expectation.
That's
can't-
only if the ponds freeze. That's
Yeah.
the only way we're
Yeah.
playing in 4 weeks.
So I hope that we're playing in 4 weeks. So my kind of best guess is that maybe, or best case scenario is maybe after the new year, early January, we get going. But we've decided in the Ivory Tower unanimously, and I know this is your first full season, but the schedule's set up basically for 3 full rotations. So you play every team in the league 3 times, and everyone's got their bye. So it's kind of a 21.
Yeah.
We're set up for a 21-week regular season. So, and normally in a non-COVID world, that finishes up in March, and then we have our Stanley Keg and move on. So what we've decided.
Wild card week is March 15th,
Yeah.
2021,
Yeah,
before COVID.
Before COVID. So what we've decided to do is that whenever we resume, we're just going to push the season back, into April, just to ensure that the integrity of the regular season, everyone gets to play everybody 3 times, and if that pushes us into April or May, so be it.
Are we going to load up on weeks? Has that been talked about? Or load up on days like we did the keg final to kind of get there? Or?
Probably no. What I'm saying is that we're just going to push everything back. So instead of ending in March, we'll just go 1 week at a time through. April.
1 week at a time. Okay.
We the Stanley Keg, that was very nice the way that we did it this year.
Of course, for you.
Well, I mean, it was fun. It was fun to crank.
It was
out.
my idea. I was the one who wanted it
Well,
that way. But
that
keep going.
turned out to be very good because we didn't know at any time if we were going to get kicked off. So it's like, if
Yeah.
we could just get it in, we get it in.
Yeah.
And I think everybody liked it. It was fun playing it Monday, Wednesday,
It
Friday.
was.
The
It was.
problem is, and we might explore that possibility, but with the way the ice contracts work, we might not be able to get that Monday, Wednesday, Friday slot in 1 week. But we'll see. But
Yeah.
but I guess the official announcement is we will complete our season. We're not going to get shortchanged on weeks. And if we finish in April, we finish in April. If we got to go into May, we go into May.
I got one question though.
Yep.
What about All-Star games and skills competition? Have we talked about that?
So
Or did I retire?
I mean, no, we haven't formally made any decisions on that. Normally, we do our kind of we have an All-Star game, and we have
Vendor Bowl.
We have the future All-Stars of Tomorrow game, featuring the bottom half of the league, and then we also
I must have missed that email.
you weren't in the league yet last, or maybe you were. I can't remember when you.
I paid last year.
Were you?
You came in
I don't know.
late, I thought.
You
no?
guys took my money. Should have got the invite.
When do you remember officially when you joined? What month it was? Because that would have been in like November, December. So I can't remember exactly when you joined.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Either.
But in any event, so we do we do an all-star game and the future all-stars, and then we did like a skills competition last year. We literally got the radar gun out there, did hardest shot, fastest skater. It was pretty fun. So I don't think we're going to be able to do that in December because I think we'll find it will happen. And if we have to buy,
if we get do it on a pond, baby,
we'll figure it out. We'll figure it'll happen in some shape or form. And then what we've done in the past is we've always had like our regular season, then we take like a week off for kind of spring break, and then we go into like our spring season. We call it It's Just Spring. It's usually only 4 teams because golf season kicks in. Some guys don't want to do it. So, and then summer, and then we have taken the summer off. So we're gonna just finish our regular season, and then and then we'll do like a spring/summer season as well. So that's the game plan.
Okay.
All right. So without that, we did not have a show last week, so we have 2 weeks of action to recap.
That's right.
So 2 weeks ago, pull up that schedule. We had what was the 9 o'clock game?
That was the Whalers and the Tigers.
Whalers and the Tigers, and that ended up being Whalers 4, Tigers 2.
Correct.
And then at the 10 p.m. on the Olympic, I think that was a thumping. Nordiques, Americans. 7-5. It was
7-5. It was closer to what it was. It was 6-5 in the third period.
Yeah, I think that
4-1 in the first, and somehow they came back.
Yeah, I think yes. And then on the NHL side, the Seals took down the beloved North Stars in a shootout. It was 2-2 regulation. So, starting with that, we'll Dylan. If we've learned anything over the years, that Dylan loves to talk about his Whalers. So. And then Goom and I both subbed in that game as Tigers.
I think so.
Okay.
So 4-2. So we'll start.
Wait. I would love to hear your guys' perspective on the game.
This is a tradition on the podcast.
Okay.
To the victor goes the spoils and the bragging, right? So as the victor, you can kind of walk us through that game if you can remember that long ago.
I'll try. I'll do my best. There's going to be a lot of storytelling and making up stuff. Let's roll with it, boys. Let's roll with it. So, first period rolls around. You have Pfister, Judge on a line, and then Skillman and Fem, I believe.
Fem wasn't there. Someone subbed.
You don't think so? Okay, we'll roll with it.
Fem's out of town. I can't remember who they got to get.
Okay, so first period, it's kind of back and forth action. They're getting pretty good shots on me. And then second period rolls around. Taylor goes off, gets a goal. Everything's going great for the Whalers. We have a draw in our zone. I go tell, because Judge all night was fucking against Turtle, hitting the puck up on the face-off and trying to go around him.
He loves to pop it forward.
Yep, exactly. So I'm like, I go to Trent, I'm like, hey, hit it forward. DP, you fucking go. You go like goddamn Speedy Gonzalez. And Trent looks at me and he's like, shut the fuck up. I'm going to do it right now, but if you're wrong, don't tell me another goddamn thing to do. Trent hits it forward. DP hits it up, past Pellet, and he's got Weavers right there for the safety valve defenseman. DP's battling. Somehow gets the breakaway, snips it on Cam. 2-0. We're going wild. DP gets a goal, gets the monkey off his back. Oh my God. DP had a game. He got elbowed by Pellet in the face. Skillman punched him in the head. He was going off that game, so it's 2-0.
Yeah.
Third period rolls around, feeling good, feeling great, tremendous. You guys started coming in. I think you shot it, right, on their first goal. I think you threw it at the net, and I'll try to redirect it to the glass. I redirect it, not high enough. Hits 11, whoever 11 is on the Tigers, I'm sorry. Drago. Hits you right in the shin pads. Bangs it in. 2-1. Not a big deal. Hey, just wipe it off my back. Everything's all good. Judge, he does his famous fucking push it up real quick. Comes in. Throws a weird one from the side. I glove it like this. My captain, my leader, my GM, who's 7 feet tall, hits him right in the fucking noggin, right into the net. 2 minutes go by, we lose the lead.
2-2.
2-2.
It's 2-2. That. We were feeling good on the.
Oh yeah, you got whoop goose. I shake it off, everything's all good, and our Savior, Jesus Christ Himself, Matt Taylor, comes to the rescue, pops a goal in. Now at this point, the Tigers are so pissed. I can see everything. They're whacking, they're chopping, everything. And DP goes to net real hard one time, and Weaver puts a knee out. He goes over, hits Cam a little bit. Cam and DP get in a scuffle. That led to Weaver getting a penalty, right?
Yeah.
And then, so that's with 2 minutes left that happened.
Yep.
So that happens, and then we're on the power play. Brawny gets a stupid ass penalty just to make up call, so it's 4-on-4.
Yep.
Weaver decides to leave the box early
I was wondering if anyone caught that.
because Ashley told him to, right?
Yeah.
We iced the puck on a 4-on-4 where it would have been icing. Troy's called icing, da-da-da. No icing's waved off. Taylor comes in, picks the puck up, scores a goal. And then they had their temper tantrum, which made the win so much sweeter. Yeah. So much sweeter. Weaver threw the puck out of the rink. Judge is kicking and screaming. Oh man.
I'll let Guma kitchen. I just want to point out on that when that puck was iced, and we did throw a hissy fit. I think we temporarily forgot we were on the power play, which negated the icing. But
you guys weren't though.
There
was 2 minutes left in the game. Weaver got the penalty because I made sure because Ashley stopped the clock.
I get it.
Yeah.
But then I know, but Weaver came out early, so they
cheated.
So it put us on the power play. But there was only 10 seconds in the game, so at that point we would legitimately have been on the power play, even if he would have played.
No, it's 2 minute penalty, and there's 2 minutes left in the game.
No, it was like
no. I promised you because I made Ashley run the clock. She stopped at 2:19, and I said no. Run it until 2 minutes.
In any event, the point was by the time that puck got iced, there was 10 seconds left. So ice, icing, no icing. It's like we weren't gonna steal the puck from Matt Taylor, go all the way down the ice. And
you were the first one on there. If you could have beat him.
I might have won the puck. But
yeah.
But am I gonna go the length of the ice in 10 seconds and score?
I don't know. Anything's possible.
Who knows? But I have some thoughts.
One more shout out. Cam had the save of the year. Save of the year. It was a backdoor pass to Busta, and he came in with the glove save. I got to give him credit for that.
That was a nice save. What do you remember about that game? It's been 2 weeks, but what do you remember, Matthew?
Absolutely nothing. But I'm gonna ask you to refresh my memory. Is that the game where the goalie got a little heated and pushed?
DP. Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, so that is the game.
Yeah.
Rewind the tape there. So that's the first time I've ever seen any emotion out of MNL. Like, you guys are pretty, like, you guys all know each other. You guys go to each other's homes and shit like that. So, but that's the first time I've seen anything even get a little chippy. I was like, whoa.
Well,
that's the Whalers this year.
Whoa. What is this?
It happens here and there.
Yeah. We're the bad boys.
I will say that the Tigers have, one regulation win this year, and that was when me and Guma teamed up to take down the Maroons. And the Tigers went to the well. It's like if we can take down Proctor, maybe we can take down Matt Taylor. And we gave them a run for their money. I mean, we definitely had the Whalers like butt cheeks
for sure.
tightened up there for the third. And we had tons of momentum because we scored that tying goal early in the third. I mean, went boom, boom, tied it up.
Within 2 minutes, the lead's gone.
So 13 minutes. And then and we had all the momentum in the world, tons of chances. And then
I thought we moved the puck well.
I thought you guys carried the puck a little more than us that game. To be honest with you, you guys had more puck possession.
We had the speed. We had the speed going in.
Yeah.
I mean, but we just.
You guys fought a brick wall.
Well, the problem is Taylor. So I remember when I subbed for the Tigers a couple weeks ago or 3-4 weeks ago. And I got the assignment from Skillman that it was going to be me and Gibb against Proctor. And I was like, geez, oh, Pete. So that was a tall order. And we won that game. So our reward was me and Gibb get to go against Matt Taylor.
Yeah.
And we hung in there. The first goal was scored by Matt Taylor. I was not on the ice. I was upset because Dream Weaver, it's his. Weaver is a Tiger, so I can't get too upset. It's his team.
Yeah.
But I was like, he took a long shift. He got caught on the ice tired.
Yeah.
Taylor does a whole skate around everybody and blah, blah, blah.
Taylor skates like a bull, like a mad bull. I love it.
It was 1-0.
Is he the long hair guy?
It's Jesus Christ himself out there with the long hair.
But I was at fault. So the game went, and I played a good game for the Tigers.
I thought so.
I did. But
you had some offensive.
Yeah. But I did. I was I couldn't go a whole game clean. So the puck came out to me. I shot it in Turnell's penis, and then he headmanned it to Taylor, and he scored the game winner to make it 3-2. So
was that a breakaway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I'd like to. Gibby and I, we put up a good, valiant effort. I don't know where he was on that play. I feel like
not a safety valve.
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah, exactly. But that being said, it's like Taylor's got a full head of steam. Even if he gives back, it's still going to be a tall order to try to slow him down. He skates with
such ferociousness.
It is what it is. I mean, if you would have told me ahead of the game that me and Gibb are going to be, give up one goal, I don't count the empty netter.
No, you can't. Yeah.
Against Taylor, it's like I would have taken our chances. And the Tigers had all sorts. That was a fun game, back and forth. We
It
had all
really
sorts
was.
of-
It was a fun game.
all sorts of
Oh, yeah.
chances. But Whalers come out on top. So that led us to the next game on the Olympic, which was Nordiques 7, Americans 5. And without going into the Nordiques jumped out to a lead. I don't know if they're up 4-1 or 5-1 at some
4-1
point.
first.
And going into that game, the Americans had not scored in about 8 consecutive periods. I mean, they were shut out back-to-back games.
Yeah,
So
Whalers,
So I was when I saw the final score. I mean, a loss is a loss. There's no moral victories in MNL, but I was just happy to see that the Americans put the puck in the net 5 times because you lose.
You were
one-
happy.
Yeah, I know. Because at least there's some. Even though they lost, you got to experience the joy of the puck going in the net. Put the arms up, celebrate with your buddies. So, but I don't know anything about the actual game itself. So, Mr. Guma,
you're
star of
the
the
only
show,
one
take us through it.
Man, I'll tell you, I'm still trying to forget that game. Actually, all the games.
Yeah.
So, game starts out, bang, bang, bang. I'm like, here we go.
Yep.
Here we go. Like, come on. And I think I said something in the room. I'm like, or we had a group chat, and I'm like, or something, and
Good
I'm
to
like,
know
hey,
there's a group text going. That's good.
hey, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. And listen, I'm 67th overall in the draft here.
Yep.
There's 3 guys below me, so all I gotta do is show up and pay. Everyone else does the work. So, I mean, like when the puck comes towards me, I get nervous. I'm like, is that the puck coming towards me? And I get so excited. And I'm like, do these guys not know? Like, I should change 55 to 67 so they know my draft.
Yeah.
But
He is selling himself short. So there's 70 guys in the league. Back it out 63.
Wait, we get the exact number.
62.
No, don't
think-
get the-
I think
I
he's-
like
I
where
think
I'm
he-
at.
I think he's 61.
67 sounds better.
It does.
61 sounds like I should do something.
Yeah, it does. It sounds.
67's like, is Guma here? Yeah, Guma's here.
Yeah.
No problem. But, so anyways, it starts out just bang, bang, and you're like, oh, fuck, here we go.
Yep.
Here we go. And then I think we come down in the second period, and it's like, all right, but we were moving the puck.
Yeah.
Like, we did everything right. We're moving the puck. We're winning, a couple of small battles, but we're not shooting.
Yep.
We're just not shooting the puck. And I don't know who the goalie is there. I don't know if he's
Sam for them.
Yeah.
Sam. Yeah.
yes.
Sam, he's the 8th round pick
Yeah.
goalie. Yeah.
7th round. There's only 17.
Seventh round.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Dylan is trash. Goalie
Yeah. He's like,
he's the
no.
eighth pick
yeah,
at 17
eighth pick.
draft.
He shows up when the 8th team plays.
Sam, I love you, buddy.
So we get a couple at the end. You start feeling good. You're like, hey, we're in this game, and then we get into
Third.
The third.
6-3.
and then it just
I mean, you guys get made to 6-5 there.
we were there.
Yeah.
We were there. We were bang, 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 and I just if there was more time, could we have won?
Yeah.
Maybe. Do we make some simple mistakes? We do. With that team, and I don't want to mow anyone's lawn here, but with our team, I feel like we don't have the passion,
Yeah.
and it's
Is it a
tough.
locker room thing, you think?
Well-
Where does it stem from?
Here's the color guy leading in because listen, we went out and had some beers after Monday's game.
Yeah.
So I was,
Is it, you're talking this past Monday?
yeah.
past
So
Monday.
I was like Gabby.
Yep,
you know,
chatty
oh yeah,
Cathy.
yeah. I
Yep.
was just like, but
Well, I
our
mean,
captain was there.
Antioch?
Andy, yeah, he
Oh,
was there. So
That's good.
so it actually worked out, but we'll get to that in a little bit once
Well,
we get.
I
But,
mean, what I meant by that is, no, just keep going.
so anyway, so back to this game here. Like I felt like we were doing well, and then, we had a little group chat going, and I just felt like we're just lazy. We're just lazy. Like for me, like I say, oh, I could be lazy. Like it doesn't matter, but I don't think I am. I think I try to do my best out there or whatever.
Oh, you played great for us last Monday.
So in any team I've ever subbed, we usually win.
Yeah.
So everyone's I
You get it when you're fitting. You're
I know
throwing
it.
everybody's
I know
side.
everyone's calling the GM right now saying fuck we want Guma, we want Guma. He's like no, Guma's not going anywhere.
Untouchable.
So he's not going.
No trade clause. On
Yeah,
that one.
yeah, exactly. But we were there, man. We were there. We were clicking.
Yeah.
Things were happening, and I think we could have just won the game. I think our goalie got hurt that game. I think he had
I think that's true.
Pangreas?
Yeah.
Yep.
Pangreas, he got hurt that game or the week before. I
Yeah.
believe he got hurt.
He was playing injured. For
He
sure.
was.
Yeah.
He was. And
He had a high ankle sprain.
exactly.
Yeah.
So if the season was going on, I think we're going to get better.
Yep.
Yeah.
We are going to get better. The room's getting better. We finally brought in, some music in the room. It's not, we're not all going to mass first thing when we walk in. You know what I mean? Like, so the room's better. The beer's still fucking warm. No one buys any ice in this league. I don't fucking get it. But whatever, no big deal. And we're gonna be better. I think we're gonna be good. I think we've had a couple of subs. I think too many times. Like it's tough to find the rhythm.
Yeah.
Tough to when you're always getting subs.
I got some good news for you.
Okay.
Here's some good news. One, you're right. The beer guy, I'm not even a big, as I'm sipping on my high noons, I'm not a big beer guy.
Yeah.
But when it's my night for beer, most of the time, not saying I'm perfect, because I've even, this year I actually missed my time, which is good. But whether it's K Felks or W, when it's my beer night, I take it, I make sure I get a cooler, you know.
You take some
and
pride.
I take
There's
some
pride.
Yeah.
Pride.
That or get
Because
some
I
liquor. You gotta mix it up, man.
It's nice to have that cold. I'm not a beer guy, but I love my one ice cold beer after the game, and so like a warm beer after the game, or not even a warm, but like a lukewarm one doesn't do it. So
like
it's the attention to detail.
When it was my beer day, I
Yeah.
brought a cooler, brought ice, and I brought Yingling.
Yeah, what a guy.
Like
The oldest beer fucking made in America right now.
I stepped
Not
it
a
up.
big deal.
Yeah.
I stepped it up. I'm trying to get brownie points. I don't want to like, oh fuck, he sucks, but he's got cold beer.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And Yingling at
I'm like, oh, it's part of my no trade clause. You just when it's your turn, you do this, this, and this. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I'll say, like, there was a point in the year, I think I had to get I have every player in MNL, I have their cell phone. It's just what I do.
Yeah.
So I remember at some point early in the year, it's like I was trying to fire up it was like group texting the Americans to try to set it up and get it going. But there is something to
It's
you
crickets.
gotta have a little passion.
Got
It
to.
starts with the beer, starts with the music, and but I didn't get to the good news.
Okay.
The good news is, we'll move into next week. Next week is like last week's game against the Tigers didn't count. It was a nice little dress rehearsal.
Yeah.
So as bad as the Americans have been, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with the playoff format, 6 out of 7 teams make the playoffs.
Yep.
Okay.
And we're on we're not the NHL. You get 3 points for a regulation win. Okay. And if you win in overtime, you get 2. If you lose in overtime or shootout, you get 1. So as bad as the Americans have been, and they've been bad, horrifically bad.
Yeah.
If we come out of this COVID pause,
Yeah.
they beat the Tigers in regulation. Boom.
They're only 2 points back.
Yeah, they're in
One win.
one win, and they're in the playoffs. So
Yeah.
you're right. As bad as it's been, you're right there. You know? And then when you get in the playoffs, anything can happen.
Exactly.
So that's the good news. But and we're not done with the Americans, but we are going to move on because there was another game that night. That was 10 o'clock. NHL Seals versus North Stars, 2-2 regulation tie, and then we lost in the shootout. So we brief recap of the game. Pistol Pete opened the scoring, little clap bomb through kind of like a partial screen. Score beats Ryan Z. We're up 1-0. The Seals outskated us. Like I pride myself as the North Stars for my trademark is effort. And I demand it, and I'm a whiny bitch about it. But it's like if my guys aren't skating, I holler. I do. And but I will say too that I was a little bit at fault in that I skated ahead of time for the Tigers because I just wanted a little Matt Taylor peak, and I like the Tigers. So
You want to see the Whalers crumble, but it ain't gonna happen.
I wanted to play. So I played very hard for the Tigers.
You played great.
So and I
I
was in good shape over the summer for the keg run.
Yeah.
Let myself go a little bit. So I didn't have the stamina to play 2 games. So I definitely was a little bit lackadaisical myself. And then as a team, we were just, I hate when people don't skate hard, and then nothing I hate more than the lazy wave at the puck. Okay, and
Yeah,
it's like
quit moving your feet
The
type
wave
shit.
at the puck is just like you swipe at the puck, and if you get it, great. If you miss it, you just out of the play.
Yeah.
And we had all sorts of lazy swipes. Seals were winning every puck battle, so
It was a slow game to watch.
yeah, we were lucky to be up 1-0 in that game, and then the Seals come and boom, 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 score 2. We're down 2-1, and then we did have Kimmel continued his 1 goal per game.
Kimmel's on
You know,
fire.
however
He's
many
feeling
ga-
himself.
however
He's
many,
chirping me
however
on
many
Slack.
games, yeah, however many games we've played, he scored in every one of them, and he's consistently. So I think it's an 8-game goal streak.
We got to look at the stats for that.
I think
That
it's
might be a
8.
record.
Yeah. Oh no, because there's 7 weeks, but you have a bye. So we've played 7 games. Kimmel has 7 or 8 goals, and he scored in every single game that we've played. And it was just a beautiful play. It was I saw it coming. I rang it around. We're in the D zone. I rang it all the way around to tie to Ben, and I saw it from a mile away.
Yeah.
It's like I see Timmy coming in the high slot. Ben drops it to him, and then just an absolute
Best
snipe.
puck moving line in MNL.
Yeah.
By
So-
far. Ben, Kimmel, and then Mr. Ty himself.
Yeah. So
Timmy's a good guy too.
Timmy's
Oh,
great
he's
guy.
tremendous.
Timmy's a
Great
great
guy,
guy.
man.
I've known.
I'll
fun-
meet you in hell, Tim. I will
Yeah.
meet you in hell.
Fun fact: Tim and I went to elementary school together. I've known Tim since we both went to the same elementary school. I've known Tim since kindergarten.
Yeah.
Nice.
Went all the way through. But so Timmy tied up, and to be completely candid, I feel we were fortunate just to get into overtime, and get a point. And then you just want to, once you get into overtime, you hope you can steal a point.
There was some scrambles I saw where Riley's been playing great for you guys, but like he has. I feel like if I played as reckless sometimes as he does, like he just jumps at the puck. He gets puck luck, and I'd rather be lucky than good. Riley,
Riley's been great.
Riley's been tremendous. He won you guys a keg and everything.
He's
But
he's been great, and he was great that game.
Oh, yeah.
I screened him on the 1 goal. He was great that game. But we
Yeah.
get into overtime. I had a horrendous first shift, and we couldn't even get out of our zone. And then, but at the end of the overtime, somehow Venandi Twinkle Toes, our 10th number, the true number 66.
Explain
66 overall.
the overtime format
Yeah.
because I was shocked
Oh.
when they asked me to
Yeah.
get on the ice
Yeah.
in my overtime
Oh,
game.
It's one of the
I'm
best,
like,
it's
what?
It's one of the best parts of MNL, and I will outfit. But Twinkle Toes Venandi Bender had the game on his stick, literally in front of the net all day, camped out, and then Ryan Z stoned him. Then we go into
67,
shootout.
you're
Chad Polinsky I didn't see it, but I think it was a pretty goal, and he did his little Chad celebration. And then we went to the hot hand Kimmel, and he's been great for us, but he got stoned. So Seals get.
Chad did the right move, and Riley was there just his patent and sprawl.
Yeah.
But then Chad just put it
Yeah.
in.
So Seals win in shootout. They got 2 points, much deserved. They deserve. In my opinion, they were the better team. So I was happy to just kind of squeak away with a point. They jump in front of us in the standings. But
Yeah.
to educate you, so first of all, we're so spoiled. Because if you play in any other league, you play in Troy, right, with the United
sure.
Nations.
Yeah.
It's like you get, it's a tie at the end of the game. You get 1 overtime or 1 shootout if you're
Right,
lucky.
right.
So because of our relationship with Hazel Park and like basically they just let us do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah.
We're the only beer league in America that even gets to play a 3-on-3 overtime.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, what we've done this now for 2 or 3 years. So we play a 3-minute running clock overtime because we don't want to I don't want to push it too far with these Zamboni guys.
Sure.
So it used to be that anybody could play, and then you'd have and to be honest, it's fun watching the good players boom boom with all the open ice.
Yeah.
But what we did last year is that anybody could play in 3-on-3 overtime, but then we made a little for half the season we said only benders, so only round 6 and down. Excuse me, round 5 and down. We wanted to make sure there were 6 skaters so that you could have a line change.
Yeah.
So round 5 and down are the only people that can play in the 3-on-3 overtime, and then if that doesn't settle it, then you go to shootout and anybody can shoot.
Up to a certain week, right?
No, last year it was like we broke it up, and it's such a success. Because normally it's like in overtime the benders just sit at the end of the bench and watch the game to get decided. They don't get to participate.
I was making a sandwich.
Exactly. So
And they're like, "Hey, Guma, get out there, bro. Is there another Guma on this team?"
Yeah. So it's so entertaining to watch that it's just a wild success. So going into this year, there was a vote, and they just made bender overtime a permanent thing. So anytime if you get into the playoffs, that's a different story. But and trust me, as someone who gets to participate,
Yeah,
I love it because I get to play.
it's interesting. I love it. It's the highlight.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you love it. Some of the guys, some of the 10th rounders are like, I'm so tired, I don't even want to play. You know, but
that makes it even better.
Yeah.
Now that I know how it works, I'm gonna try to make sure every game goes in OT.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is awesome. I will say I liked it. You know, in a perfect world, I would still, you know, like I said, we've already talked about how you kind of have a 3-week rotation.
Yeah.
I would advocate for maybe start out weeks 1 through 7 Bender, weeks 8 through 14 good guys, and then 14 through 21 Benders, because I enjoy watching the good guys fly and have that open ice. So. And I think they should get a crack at it too. That's my personal opinion.
I think the last week, the last 7 games, they should. Where it's heating up.
Or
maybe a 4-on-4 with one good guy and then all Benders.
Well, maybe you can advocate for that. We don't do.
I'm just spitting ideas here.
Yeah, we had a.
I'm not an ivory tower yet.
Yeah, so we did have we have an ivory tower summit. It was at my house.
Yeah.
Where we go. Well, you weren't in the ivory tower.
Oh, I'll be there. I'll be there.
Off-season rule changes. We had a little barbecue. It was a fun night, and that's one of the rules that got.
Actually, I was invited, but I didn't come.
There you go. But that's Bender OT, and it is. I mean, it's a beautiful thing.
It is. It really is.
And every once in a while, we put the Benders put one in. You know, most times
that's fun.
Most times it goes to shootout.
Have they ever put one in?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I had a streak.
I've been in the league for
I'm in Bend. We had a streak last year where I scored like 3 overtime goals, like 1 for the North Stars. I subbed.
Not a big
deal. Me and Maff were both North Stars. We both subbed for the Nordiques and like had combined for the overtime game winner for the Nordiques. I remember that. But yeah. Anyways, it's awesome. So that wrapped up our last official week of before the pause. So
and let's say the standings real quick. Real quick.
Yeah.
Whalers leading the way with 18 points there.
Yeah.
7 games played, or 6-1. Golden Seals right behind us with 14 points, 4-2. North Stars right there with 13 points, 4-2-1. Overtime loss. Maroons, which, you know, they started as gangbusters and they shit the bed the last
Yeah, they still
games.
haven't played. So they won their first 4. Won their
Mm.
first 4 and then lost their next 2. They did not play.
And then at 4-2, and Nordiques 3-4. Tigers at 1-5-1, and Americans 6-1 overtime win.
And that's the that's the difference.
Yeah.
That's tough.
So and just for you, Mr. Guma, our format is so the seventh place team misses the playoffs. Right. Top 2 teams get a bye in the first round of the playoffs.
Right.
And what's most important in my mind about that bye is is that it guarantees you a best 2 out of. That's the other thing too with the playoffs. It's nice you got a 2 out of 3 game season. It really is a beautiful.
No,
league.
it's
You
great.
You go to Troy Sports Center.
Yeah.
It's like you could go 24-0 in the regular season. You lose a playoff game and you're done. You know.
I like the 3-game series.
But so what happens is.
Or the other way around, lose every game, win the cup like we did.
That's fun too. Bring all your ringers in, fake IDs.
No, we don't do
fake ID.
that.
Fake ID.
But so what happens is the first and second place teams get a bye, and then the 3 seed plays the 6 seed, the 4 seed plays the 5 seed, and those are only 1 game. And then the winners advance to the semifinals, which are 2 out of 3, and then the keg finals are 2 out of 3. So the bye is important because it gets you to the second round, but for me, it's important because it guarantees you that 2 out of 3 game series, so you can't go home on one bad night.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, that's good.
So it almost helps the wild card teams too, because they're bottom level during the whole year, and they catch them catch them lightning.
Anybody, I mean, that's the beauty of our league is it's so evenly matched in the parity. You know, it's
it really is.
Anybody can win on any given.
That's why
this is a smooth machine here you guys got going on.
Oh, baby, we don't fuck around.
We've ironed out a lot of kinks over the years, and there's always hiccups, and then COVID's thrown a wrench into things. But but I haven't found a better league. I'll say that.
Fuck no. This league has sparked my love for the game. Like I never thought it could again. Yeah. I was gonna be done and over with, and then I met Dave P. And this.
When I got invited back for this season, I told my wife, I go, hey man, they're inviting me back.
Yeah.
She's like, wow, that's great. You know, and my wife loves me. Like I could, you know, she'll maybe come to 1 game a year or whatever. But she's like, wow, that's great. She's like, you know, people like you, honey. People like you. I'm like,
people like you, honey.
Yeah.
You're a good guy.
Yeah, you're a good guy. I'm like, I'm like, thanks, hon. I appreciate that. It means a lot coming from you.
I mean, just being on this show, I think you understand things. Pay your ice bill, show up with beer on ice. I mean,
And
that'll
come out to Cozy's after, man.
You're in.
That'll keep you going for a lot of years.
That's it.
You're in. No, but it's not to cut you off. Man, it's great. It's great. It's funny when I mention to people that, I'm in this Monday league and it's, they got this and they got this podcast and, I'll talk to like a lot of my Canadian buddies and they're like, they eat shit hockey.
Yep.
And they're like, wow, man, that's pretty cool. I wish we had something like that. And then you think about it, like this is probably, developed into this, just like you said, you had some growing pains and things happen. Then you probably had some growth.
Season what? 5, 6.
Was it Turtle that we had that was sitting next to me at Cozy's?
Weaver. Weaver was next to you. Turtle was the guy with the backwards hat.
Okay, so Weaver. Okay, Weaver. Yeah. So he said he was on the original 4 teams, right? Is that?
I don't know if Weaver was. I think Weaver was
Weaver's
season 2.
Lies.
Yeah, I think Weaver was.
Or maybe he said I was
I
when there was only 4 teams. Maybe
Yeah.
that's what he was saying.
Weaver was a season 2 ad. I think
Okay.
he was
Okay.
not part of the
Was it
original
still
4.
4 teams? Season 2?
I think season.
We can look it up.
No, I think season 2 we bumped out to 6.
Okay.
And then we
Alan? Is that his first name?
Jim Weaver.
Jim Weaver, yeah.
Turtle Tim.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I will say the unique part about our league too is that the range of player ability and player ages. Normally, if you're in the Troy league, it's like you get slotted to your league, and then every team has their good players and bad players, but it's usually like this team's good, this team's bad. Our league's so unique because you got the highs and you got the lows, and it makes it interesting. But what has really made our league, like, I'm an organizer. I definitely kind of set it up, but I'm that grumpy old man. Like, technology's not my thing. So it's these young guys, the panty droppers, the Piercies with the website and the Instagram page and Slack. Like, I didn't know what Slack was. So they set up the Slack channel, and it's all that kind of the extra little dorky thing. It's funny because it's a badge of honor, and then when I tell people I'm in a beer league and it has a podcast, it's like it's a source of pride, and it's also like kind of like, we're fucking losers.
I don't think so, man. I think it's awesome, man. I think it's
douchebags around. It's like,
no, you guys should be proud of it, man.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
yeah.
It's awesome.
So
we need to monetize more and more content.
Yeah, well, in any event. So that was the end of the real game. So then fast forward to this Monday night. I think the governor had the press conference on Sunday night saying that we were going to pause for 3 weeks effective Wednesday. I immediately texted my contact at the rink and said, hey, we can play Monday, right? It's funny because some of the guys are like kind of hoping that it would cancel, but I was like, the order is not effective until Wednesday.
Yeah.
We can play Monday, right?
Exactly.
And he said, let me check, and then he told me that we were going to play. So it was kind of in my mind knowing that at the earliest we're not playing for 4 weeks, but in reality we're probably not playing for 2 months.
February
I was like,
is.
I would have skated from 7 p.m. till 2 a.m. It's like
Yeah.
I just like kind of. To me, it was like one final hurrah.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be able to drag me off the ice. And I think some people were because with the COVID numbers, I think some people were concerned. But we were gonna play all games, and they were gonna count. We had the refs, and then what happened was there was a fair amount of subs for most teams. Even even we were gonna play, but each team was kind of trending towards 3 or 4 subs per team.
Yeah.
Which is fine. We're going to play. Then at like 7 o'clock, one of the players on the Maroons is like, oh, by the way, I just tested positive for COVID. And, oh, by the way, he's in a bowling league with 4 other guys in our league. So basically, the Maroons at that point had two players that could have played. And the Nordiques probably had 5 that could have played. So they kind of decided to cancel. And then we're left with the other games. And it's like, what do we do? And we kind of had this issue last week. It's like the problem is if the other games play and those standings count, it's like what do we do with the other game? How do we work in a makeup game? So it's easier just to kind of all play, no play. But I wanted to keep. But last time we did that, we canceled and then no one played. So I wanted to keep the refs, keep it so it felt real, and then make sure everybody shows up.
And it really did.
And it was awesome. You
No,
know,
it was great.
It was some
even
of the
though
best
it did,
was great.
Yeah, it did. And
fast paced.
So my goal doesn't count, doesn't show up on the
No,
fucking.
no.
Oh my god.
no stats don't
God,
count.
that was a new stick
Counts to
too.
me.
It's a brand new stick.
So basically in the and the other part was like, I mean, the North Stars, we were, you know, the other part for state, we want to try to keep the integrity of the competition. So in the North Stars, for example, I think we wound up having six subs out of 10.
You guys subbed up a little bit, too.
The Whalers had 5. We can talk.
we didn't
We'll
sub
get
up,
that
though.
one.
We didn't sub up, though.
We'll talk about
We
that.
didn't sub up, though.
But
We had 2 first-rounders.
The Whalers had.
Oh, yeah.
But I
that's
believe
not
that. But I
bad.
believe the Whalers had. I think you had 4 Whalers and 6 subs. Sub up or not.
At least, yeah.
But my point is, in our game, there were more subs than real players. And then with the Tigers, I think we were a little bit better, but they had at least 4 subs, maybe 5.
You had
And then-
Judge, you had Pfister, you had Skillman, you had Pellet.
Yeah, and Gibb was there, but
Gibb,
I subbed
Weaver.
Guma subbed. Maybe the Tigers were close.
Tigers
to
are pretty much
I think
there.
there was still one more. I think there was another sub. I'm blanking. And then the
Wilkie.
that was no Wilkie's an American.
Is he? Oh yeah.
So the Tigers had close to their full team.
Yeah.
But the Americans had.
Oh yeah, you're talking about.
I got mixed up. I got mixed up. But the Americans had
Yeah.
at least 4 subs. They had me, you, Peso, and someone was in for Wells was gone.
Peso.
Suits was gone. Manny was gone. Who's the Americans' 10th? Well, Wilkie and Gilmore were there. Anyways, it is what it is. So we decided just to play the games, but not have them count. So, but we'll talk about it a little bit because it was a big it was my first opportunity to sub for the Americans.
Yeah.
I obviously love a challenge. Goom and I are hot, so I was like,
baby.
I really, really, even though it meant nothing, even though it was exhibition, really wanted to get that win for the Americans, and we were close. Well, I can't.
I don't know the score.
I thought we were gonna win when Peso took warm-ups with no bucket on.
Oh, he
I was
always
like,
does.
Oh,
He
yeah.
always
I was
does.
like, there's a confident man right there.
Yep.
We got the win. We're
Yep.
done. This is.
He had Ashley's friend there.
It's like he just came back from like an injury. He knows the camera's gonna be on him.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know
yeah.
what I mean? He takes the lap a couple of times, so you're like, oh, we're winning.
Oh,
We're good.
Cam's
It's
girlfriend
good.
brought a friend. There's pussy around. He's
Yeah.
like, hey.
Oh, that's Peso.
I'm like, we're in.
That-
We're in. He's got a little bit of tan from the golf for
yeah.
the little vacay. Like,
Put some
here.
bronzer. You knew a chick was gonna be around. He put some bronzer on.
And then he shit the bed.
Yeah.
Oh.
You have
Oh, it's not even on here.
you have identified Peso crowd. I mean,
Yep.
he comes in all for the show. The funny thing,
He even plays like that.
Yeah.
He even plays
Oh, yeah. Well,
fucking high flying.
you're old enough to remember. How old are you?
44.
44. Have you lived in the Detroit area your whole life?
My whole life.
Okay. So there was a guy, way too young for Dylan, but the Red Wings had this guy. He played most of his career with the Rangers, but in the 80s, the Red Wings had this guy named Ron Duguay. And Duguay, yes, Google him, okay? Ron Duguay had the long flowing hair. This was back when helmets were optional type deal, and he just loved to just skate. He was a ladies' man, just like to skate around the ice and blah, blah, blah. So Peso is Ron Duguay.
Oh, there he is. Look at that lettuce right there. Wow.
He was a good player too, but he was a Peso player, just an all offense, not interested in playing defense, there for so Peso's
Sorry, Peso.
there you go. Peso's Ron Duguay. We have this other guy, so Sips, who plays for the Maroons. He's another guy who likes to take warm-ups without helmets. The problem with him is he's like you're 67, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Sips is the number like 59, and so he loves to come out. He does
heard
warm-ups,
that was
no
an only
helmet,
thing, though.
no gloves, no jersey, he come like shoulder pads, and we had to like
That
mandate.
guy's got bad intentions.
We had to mandate that he wear Sips. You are not a good enough skater to pull this off. You're gonna catch it. You're gonna catch an edge and split your skull on the ice.
Sips,
So
please go back to that. Please go back to it.
it was.
I can't wait till we get back on the ice.
Yeah.
I am literally just going to go out there in my underwear.
Yeah. You should see Sips. This
In a
Sips.
banana hammock.
Yeah, just roll out.
Sips used to. Not only no helmet, no gloves. I don't know if that was like a activate the hands thing. No gloves,
it.
no jersey.
That's
shoulder
wild
pad.
card. Hey, that's intimidation
it's
right
like
there.
that
We
guy-
see somebody on
it's
the other
like-
team with no jersey on. Oh, look out. He's
It's
got
like-
bad intentions.
It's like that guy in Slapshot. Remember? Isn't there a scene in
Yeah,
Slapshot where the
whenever he's
guy
getting in a
undresses?
fight and it's- yeah.
But that's Sips. So, anyways, with that game,
Bring it back, Sips.
you know,
Bring it back.
that game, I can't remember the exact, but it was a close
Not a
game.
bad pull there for
I know.
good old Ron Burgundy.
Yeah, Ron Duguay. Then he started a roller hockey league out in California. So yeah, Ron Duguay. But so it was a good game.
Duguay.
So, but another baby step for the Americans is that so they lost that exhibition game. I think the final score was like 6-4.
Somebody comment, please, on the final score there.
I think it doesn't matter. It was like 6-4. But again, the Americans put the puck in the net.
We
we're scoring.
Yeah,
we had some defensive breakdowns and some things happened, but we put the puck in the net. And the one goal that I remember, it was a sloppy play. I don't know how it ended up, but somehow puck ends up on Edge's stick, and he has this snipe from the top of the circles, and it hit the side netting. It was like bing, bing, in, out, like that. And I was right there, and I made it it was very intentional to celebrate because it was in and out so fast. I thought the ref wasn't even going to see it. But that was the snipe of the night as far.
A little acting job there.
No, it was in, but I wanted to make sure that it was 100% in. But
It was in.
You can even ask Claus. It was in, but it was such a snipe and in and outer.
Was it in on Claus?
What was that? Oh yeah,
He
Claus
scored on
was.
Claus. Oh, he ain't gonna admit it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit the back of the net. He ain't gonna admit that.
I had a little 5-hole snipe on Clausy myself, and that game came out in a little no big deal. I mean, I've been chained to the blue line, so it was nice to play. Play a little. I think I was still playing defense, but I was able to jump in the rush. I got to play forward. That was awesome. I got to play with Edge and Antioch. I mean, what a treat.
Edge has been fucking firing.
We
all
popped
cylinders.
in 4 goals that line. No big deal. But
Not a big
it was very fun to play with those guys. But I will say,
Edge played well.
yeah,
Yeah.
I will say the Tigers. Having Andy Fem.
Well,
back,
I had to razz him a little bit to show up
Yep.
in our group chat.
There you go. I'm glad you did.
He basically was ready to pull the shoot. He's like, "Hey, my wife wants to know if this game's really gonna matter, if it's important."
Yep.
And,
Every game
and
matters.
I chime in right away
Yep.
because I'm an asshole
Yep.
sometimes.
Yep.
I'm like, "Hey, tell your wife
Yep.
to get your balls out of her purse.
Yep.
I love
And the
it.
minute the game's over Monday, you'll put them right back in."
Silence.
It was crickets. No one on the team even
He
responded.
probably doesn't have your. He's like, what is this number? He doesn't even know. who's
No,
chirping him.
on the Slack.
Yeah.
So they know.
on Slack.
Yeah.
Oh, on the Slack
So
channel.
love it.
No one said a word. So I go to my wife. I go, "Fuck, was that too soon?"
You gotta put the LOL after that.
You know,
You gotta put
no,
the
I wasn't
LOL.
gonna. No. So I go to Sonia. I go, "Sonia, is this too soon? Does this look a little harsh?" She goes, "Oh no, it's fucking hockey." You know, big
Oh,
deal."
Edge is a big boy. He probably,
Yeah,
he probably didn't see it, but he probably got a chuckle out of it.
Yeah.
But I will say, I never. My wife has no clue that a bye week even existed. Why would you tell your wife?
No.
Nobody
that we
knows
have
nothing.
A fucking bye week.
No.
It's
Nobody knows
I'm-
nothing.
It's like I have it on our little family calendar. MNL 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
I play at 9 o'clock every week. I never play at 10 o'clock.
No.
I play at 9 o'clock every
Yeah.
week. No bye weeks,
Right.
and I'm showing up.
Nobody knows
I
nothing.
might show up next Monday. Who knows?
Just sit in the parking lot.
But what a rookie mistake to even tell your wife. I mean, it's hockey. It's Monday nights. I'm gone.
Exactly.
Edge, I love you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and Edge is a veteran.
Oh,
he should know.
he's my
better than
golf
that.
partner for the MNL outing we won.
Great.
Not a big deal right
Great
there,
golfer.
but
But that's it. I will say, like we have a lot of young guys in the league now, new fathers. Like Busta's a father.
Yep.
Pellet's got a child.
Neville, shout out to
Child-
Neville. Congratulations,
Yeah,
my friend.
It's awesome. There's nothing better than being a dad, but it's
100%.
hard as hell being a parent, and you have to hold on to some things, and whether that's golf, whether you gotta
Can't lose your identity.
you give up so much, but you gotta hold on to one thing and hold on tight. So it's like Monday nights, it's like, honey, I love you. You can do whatever the fuck you want on Tuesday. I'll watch the kids. Blah blah blah. But on Monday night, it's like you gotta have a decompressed night.
right.
Yeah.
At least one.
Troy laying down the law.
I know.
At home.
Dr.
It's true.
Troy over here.
It's true.
Got a wife beater under
Yeah.
that mission.
Am I wrong?
No, you're right. No, you're right.
So that was game one.
Yeah, that was fun.
It was a fun game.
It was fun.
It was, and it's funny too because there's a lot of
Big win for
it's
the
funny
Tigers,
because
though.
you say that there's not a lot of intensity in MNL, but one thing we do in MNL is bitch at the refs. But it's amazing it's amazing when there's no standings. Like no one said shit to them. No one gives a shit. You miss a call, nobody gives. So it was a nice night. Like it was fun. It was competitive,
fast paced,
but no one really cared too much.
And you lead into that bitching about the refs. I'm gonna go back to the game that Dougie refed.
Yes,
calls me for a shit call, and it was a pretty close game. I think
with his electronic whistle.
And he called and I forgot it was Dougie.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? You're calling that? What the fuck bullshit? And I'm just ripping into him. I can't believe what the fuck you fucking
Having your inner woodsy come out.
And then I'm like, wait a minute. And then I go, man, I'm sorry. I forgot it was you. I love you. As I'm walking in the box. But it was still a shit call.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Well, Dougie's a new ref, so he's learning.
And he didn't play amateur hockey, did he?
I mean, he grew up in Canada. I mean, I think he played I don't think he played I don't know. The answer to that is I don't know. I mean, he's in Canada. He can skate. I'm assuming he played some, but
Well, shout out to him for coming out and trying. You know
100%.
Oh,
yeah.
And he's
gotta
taking.
Give him shit,
Dougie's a pretty. He's a great guy, and he's a meticulous guy. So he did it really because the way our league works with the volunteer refs, like if you want to play in the 9 o'clock game, that prime time 9 p.m. time slot, you have to have a ref on your team to be able to ref in the 10 o'clock. So he kind of did it. Him and Piercy both stood up, stepped up, and took the class. But Dougie's like that. I don't know him super well, but he strikes me as a type.
Oh,
of guy.
Dougie's the best, man.
Yeah, I know he's great, but I'm saying he strikes me as a guy that when he decides that he's
Tell us more.
yeah. When he decides he's going to do something, he's going to do it. So it's like he initially just did it to help the league, but now that he's done it a few times, he realizes he's self-aware that he's a rookie ref and he needs to improve. Yeah. So he's like
Working.
Just going to get better.
Yeah, I want to keep refing, and the only way you get better at refing is to continue to ref.
100%.
And on that note, I just got my refing license too, boys.
Did you really?
I did.
Wow.
I just
No
got that
shit.
and my coaching license. Yep.
Damn.
Yeah, so I'll be
Wow.
refing soon. Woodsy, that means I'm giving you one fucking warning, and that's it. I swear to God, I'm going to tee you up, and anybody else bitching, I'm giving you one warning. I'm teeing you up.
Refing is fun. I did it. I did it 3 seasons. Like the first season we did the volunteer ref program, I did it, and I really enjoyed it. I just don't quite have enough time to do it a lot, but it's fun. It's fun, especially in our. I enjoy it, but anyway. So then we'll go to the 10 o'clock game. We'll let Goose, da. So North Stars Whalers.
I think you got to give it to Troy. Troy you had a great game plan out there. Come on, right in the first period. I mean, within two minutes, you totally sabotaged our defense. Had old man Ite back door.
Yeah, bing bing.
Who's that first line?
For one shift, it was me,
LaPouche,
Pete, and
right?
old man Ite. No, I was playing for the first.
You were playing
shift,
forward?
For one shift. The plan going in had that game counted. I was going. I had a couple tricks up my sleeve, and I was gonna play forward that game with Pete and old man Ite, and that's how it started. And we did score. Bing bing bing. Then
Great goal by Ite too.
it was a great goal. It was a great shift.
It
was a great shift.
But I got over there and he still put it over my pad.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
It was a little chip and boom. But we dominated that whole first minute. I mean, it was just pinned in your zone until that went in. But
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
the point, it was, just how the night went. It was come to find out, I go to the bench. Like Whoop, I think he was on our bench to start the game, but then somehow he gets off the ice. Come to find out that the Drake for the Nordiques, so the Maroons Nordiques games gets canceled, but the ice is available. One Peso is subbing in the 9 o'clock game. He's a Nordique. One lonely Nordique or Maroon shows up, and it's Drake.
Yeah.
Okay? So he's literally like a sad little puppy dog. He's on the NHL rink at 10 o'clock all by himself.
I know. I felt bad too. He came to our locker room and kind of walked out. I was like, should we invite him in?
So he's like a little puppy dog doing sticks and pucks all by himself. But somehow I don't even know how Todd figured it out.
Go you, Whoop. Hey.
Yeah, it wasn't great. And
Whoop.
So I'm on the bench. Whoop
So selfless.
opens the door, on the other side of the
Oh,
rink.
yeah,
He's
screaming and
barking,
yelling.
Screaming. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking? I'm like, shut the fuck up, Whoop. Because I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
But I'm in hindsight, I'm very happy. So Whoop.
Whoop fucking coordinated that night.
Exactly, because we had like 5 guys skating a double.
Yeah.
Probably 6, 7,
We only had
8.
9. I
Yeah.
think we only had 9 on our bench or 8 or something like that.
Yeah, at some point.
We still won, right?
Not a big deal.
But we had
Because we had Mr.
Mr.
Gumba himself.
But how many guys were skating on the second skate? At least 8 or 9. So we have little Drake. We have 9 guys get to skate twice, and we can't get little Drake in the lineup. So Whoop somehow it's like we made like 8 trades in the first 5 minutes of the game, and then it settled. And then
Well, we were supposed to get Skillman for your Drake, and then
I don't know.
Troy's like, "Hey, I don't hear nothing. Whoop. I hear you say Drake's on our team, but I don't hear the Skillman part. So hey, we're gonna stack our team."
I truly don't know how it happened.
Oh, we don't know nothing. The North Star's away. Collusion.
But
North Star's collusion.
But ultimately, it did get sorted out. But with that mix-up,
No, it did. You got the 2 first rounders.
I'm saying we got.
I got you.
I think we ended up with both teams had 10 skaters. I'm not saying the teams. I'm not saying
I got you.
fair,
I got you.
But at one point we had 11 skaters and you had 7. So somehow in the mix it got to 10 to 10.
Thank you, Whoop. I don't know how it happened today.
And Drake this is a long-winded way of saying, like, I'm glad Drake got to skate. You know, I've never played with the guy other than the evaluation skate.
Yeah.
And he was happy. He's like, if this league goes underground, I'm in. He wants to skate.
He's like your muscle.
Yeah. But to make a long story short, so after some initial fracas, it got sorted out, and then the Whalers, took it to us.
Yeah, I mean, what is it? 1-0, 1-1, 2-1. It went all the way to 3-3 after the first period, correct?
Something like that. Yeah, it was a high score.
Yeah, and then I buckled down. Captured the rebounds from there on out, and it was over. Bingo, bango. Good night, Jim Kite.
There you go.
Yep.
So it was real easy because the dude with the long hair, what's his name?
Taylor.
Yeah,
Taylor.
I mean, he just opens up and it's like game over.
Taylor, he skates such ferocity.
Guma. Dylan has said this expression. He must have stolen it from Spittin' Chicklets, but you know Night Night Jim Kite? Have you ever heard that expression before?
Never.
Okay, so he just rolls it off his tongue, and he doesn't even know what the fuck it is.
It sounds good.
It does sound good.
It sounds good.
But so Jim Kite was a fighter in the 80s, early 90s, mostly 80s. And you can look, he's a famous fighter. If you Google Bob Probert's first NHL fight, it was against Jim Kite, Canucks, and it's just it's an awesome fight. I mean, it's exhausting just watching it. It goes on for like 3 minutes. But Night Night Jim Kite comes from, he was on the Jets, and he got into it with Kosher, and it was a one-punch boom. Okay.
One hitter quitter, baby. That one hitter quitter.
And then while he was on it's like an MMA fight when that guy's KO'd, and then on his way he's out, and then on his way down, Kosher pops him again, and then his head hits the ice and he's out. Lights
night
out.
Night. Good night, Jim Kite.
So that's Night Night Jim Kite, and then it's one of these things too where they get him up, and this is before concussion protocols or anything like that. Hope I don't have COVID. I'm spitting on you, but then they try to
Governor Whitmore, get some of this.
they try to skate him. They try to skate him to the bench, and he's jello. Boom,
spaghetti.
Boom. Yeah. So it's a good. Any listeners, if we have our 4 listeners or someone do, Google Jim Kite, Joe Kosher, and it is a knockout for the ages. So Night Night Jim Kite.
Yeah. I guess to add. Yeah, exactly. I guess to add to that game. You guys were dominating a little bit in the first, and
we were subbed. I mean,
subbed the fuck up.
Our offensive lines were extremely.
Extremely.
So it is depressing.
That was so great about it though.
Yeah.
Because we were still able to take you guys out and take you guys down.
It's depressing. It's depressing that we were subbed up and we're still
because
I'm gonna have to fucking hear from Dylan.
No. I think you guys played.
And you guys were subbed up. We were subbed up more, but you were out.
I thought it was still fair.
It was a good skate.
Yeah, it was a good skate.
It was a good skate.
It went back and forth.
You had Trent for Femme, that's equal. Okay, fine. But then you have Brawny out, and you pick up Chad, and then you had you had 2 sub ups there. I took a picture of it, but you
get the picture up.
Get the picture.
Yeah, get the picture up.
There's one more.
I want to get some truth in there.
But it was a good skate. But I will say, it's
the thing I like about our team and the Whalers is that we fight adversity. So we got down, I think, with the Seals first.
Oh, you had Rubel in for Brawny. Okay.
You got a goal or two.
I'm
giving you credit.
I'm just saying.
I'm giving you
had
credit.
Rubel in for Brawny, and then you had Chad for Sukas. So those are 2 upgrades.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
We had upgrades too. I'm not.
But it made it a way better game though.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Oh, it was fast.
I mean, we still love to have those guys in, but it's faster pace. It was.
Yeah. And I will say I'm not trying because I love Wilkie. You know Wilkie? Wilkie's on your team. He's
I haven't really met him yet. Not yet.
Yeah, very nice guy. He's a teacher, quiet, but he's a little ninja on Slack. He's always watching. So I made one little comment like Matt Taylor enjoyed skating around Wilkie the whole game. And then Wilkie to his credit, it's like fuck you, Troy. He's like just to be clear, I wasn't the only one that Matt Taylor was skating on. But I will say. the game plan when we face the Whalers is not to have Matt Taylor going against our second D pairing of Wilkie and Pellet. They did the best that they could, but Matt, I think 4 of his goals were against that pairing. With as good as Antioch is, as good as Skillman in, they're subbing for us. It's their second game of the night. It's an exhibition game. Yeah. So if you think they're fucking back checking to try to stop, it's just more like give Yager the puck. He's got the full. And again, whether it's Wilkie or anybody, it's like when Yager has a full head of when he's able to like just gear up the choo-choo train and have
he
a full
always
run.
does. He always. But you gotta give. Everyone says it's just him. That he passes the puck too much. He passes that puck too much sometimes.
Taylor?
Even Turtle. Ask Turtle. Turtle even says he.
What game were you from?
Oh no. There's sometimes where he has opportunities and he'll pass the puck back door or something like that. I was like, dude, just shoot the puck. You can score.
There's no passing of any puck.
Oh yes, there is.
He does all his work by
you.
himself.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
He does. He floats around the blue line. And I will say, the Whalers are a fine team. They're a fine team. They do what they got to do and they get them the puck. But it's
Taylor passes the puck a lot more than you think.
Okay. The point is, if you take
maybe he's reading like a self-help book for the team. He's just trying to be nice. But I haven't seen it.
I mean, it's just I find it a little like the Whalers are just they're clearly the top dogs in the league, but I find their cockiness a little off-putting because there's an element of we do a lotto. That's the other thing for the draft order. We do a lotto. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so the Whalers get the number 3 overall draft pick. Matt Taylor falls in their lap at number 3. Mm-hmm. Then they get the lotto. They get the number 1 goalie pick. Mm-hmm. So it's not like they did some fucking magical job. It's like, okay, give me Matt Taylor, and then I'll see how good we are.
Build around that.
Exactly.
Notice how Troy didn't mention my name.
Well, no.
I know you've been sleeping on me.
My point is, they're very.
I know you've been sleeping on me.
They're cocky. Pride comes before the fall. I got my Michigan State shirt on, so I mean, we'll see. I mean, they're a very good team, but North Stars beat Matt Taylor in the playoffs last year in the semifinals. So we shall see. We shall see. But they're cocky motherfuckers. There's no doubt about it. But they win. You guys have every right to
It's
be
a locker
cocky.
room presence thing.
Yeah, the North Stars have been cocky.
I get in
I have to go. I'm gonna pop out 1 second and go wee wee. You guys got to run the show.
Wee wee.
Good.
All right, roll with the Guma. What were you gonna say?
Well, what I was gonna say is I
Your cans are gonna reach probably.
let me move here. That's real fast.
There you go. Got it.
All right, there.
Find that motherfucker.
So, I get in your room to sub, and
Yeah.
immediately you're like, "What's up? We got this. Let's go."
Yep.
I'm like, "Fuck, I love this room already." So it felt good to play in that game, even though it didn't mean anything. It was just everyone was just kind of floating around and whatever. I think I had the game winner.
Not a big deal.
I did it.
Let's roll with it. Nobody knows nothing. Nobody knows.
But that's where I make my bread and butter. Like if I could stay there all day. I'm big. I'm fat.
You're talking about in front of the net.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was awesome having you sub for us because, like I said, I haven't said.
What I was saying is I get in their room, and I'm like, immediately this guy's like, "What's up?" and he's like, "Let's go, boys." Blah blah blah. Whatever. I'm like, "Fuck, man. There's someone talking in this room."
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it's not me.
It was crickets all around.
And I'm like, wow, this is gonna be fun talking about.
Yeah.
that
Oh,
game,
yeah.
And that's what's
It was
half the
fun. It was
battle.
good.
People don't realize half the battle is the locker room presence. You got to have a great locker room presence in there. If you guys feel like a camaraderie, a team, like you want to fight for each other, no matter fucking what.
Yep.
That's the Whalers' way.
Yeah.
That was the Seals' way last
Yep.
year.
I mean,
That was
if
us
you know
this
that
year.
if Dylan's going to get into it, Suokas is going to have your back, right, Dylan?
Hey,
He's
everybody.
going to jump right in.
It don't matter. Hey, it don't matter what happens. It don't matter what happens. We bring a knife to a gunfight. We're still coming out winners.
You know what?
Real quick, Camel, I'll meet you in hell.
You know what?
It's inside joke. Inside joke.
I feel like as an American, I think our team's gonna get better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Can't get worse. Only one
it can't
way.
get worse. It's gonna get better. And hear me out here.
I just
So-
meant standings wise.
So we're getting kicked in the teeth,
yeah.
and I think we played my old team,
boy.
and first couple games I threw out, "Hey guys, if we win this, we'll go for dinner, Hyde Park."
Yeah.
I don't care if the bill's $1,000 or $10,000.
I'm drafting Guma next year.
I'm like, we got to win against my old team.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, just whatever, no big deal. You're like, nothing, we lose. No
Yeah.
big deal. So then now we're on this losing fucking streak.
Yeah.
And we finally, I think, had 9 of our 10 players, our guys were there.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, hey, boys, let's get the win here.
Yep.
We get the win. I don't care if we win by 1 or 10. Steakhouse, eat, lobster, whatever the fuck you want. Let's just fucking win. Let's go. Let's have fun.
Yep.
A part of me was I wanted to win.
Yep.
Just to go out with the guys and get to
Yeah.
know them and
Yeah.
just chit chat,
Yeah.
bullshit. I don't know. I barely know anybody.
Yeah, I think what you're gonna have to do, like steak and lobster, isn't the. It might have to be strip club.
So well, I'm not a strip club guy.
For the team, you might have to.
I might
for
have
the
to take
team.
one for the team.
You
Sure.
might have to. I don't know.
But you know what? I didn't care. The bill wouldn't matter. I give 2 fucks about that.
Yeah.
I just wanted the guys to
Yeah.
get to know each other,
Yeah.
be a better room, be a better team. So
Yeah.
like, I can.
Well, you have a lot like, and again, you're newer to the league. Everyone's got different personalities, right? So you have your first round pick is Suits. Okay, Suits is a great guy. He's not a, Suits is a fucking competitor. I will tell you that, but he's not like a walk into a room break. So it takes a little bit.
Right.
Then you have Antioch and Manny, your 2 GMs. They're not, both great guys, but they're not, walk into a room.
No.
Then your third round pick is Edge, great guy. Edge is great.
Edge is awesome.
And he'll get there.
I love Edge.
Wells is a great guy too.
Great
But
guy.
and Joe Ellis is a great when he shows up. There's some characters there, but you're right. Like everybody's got to show up. Got to get their little. Got to get a little camaraderie going, and it's there.
And and I think we're gonna build that. I think we're gonna get there. So we went out after Monday's game, and Andy was there.
Yeah, Antioch.
Yeah,
Paul.
Antioch.
Yep.
So he was there, and I had a few pops, and
Yeah.
so I'm just chirping our
Yeah.
team a little bit,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh, come on, it's not that fun." And I'm like, and then I'm like, "No, man, I love the team." He's like, and he said a couple of things. I'm like, whatever he said, I can't remember it now
Yeah.
because I
Yep.
was whatever.
Yep.
But whatever he said, I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? This was our turning point.
Yep.
Because he bought in that
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
So I think we're there. I think we, like you said, we got nowhere else to go but up.
And then that's the other thing too with like COVID, everything's COVID, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you have some guys that are a little bit more, COVID conscious and the mask and the and
You
I'm,
do.
And I'm not saying there's anything, everyone deals with it their own way.
Sure.
And we're all trying to be responsible and this and that, but it affects the room, it affects the hangout. Whereas like you have the Whalers like Dylan, we've talked about this. Like
I don't think they give two fucks.
exactly.
We don't.
Dylan and Dylan and Dave P. Like this was a anonymous source in the Ivory Power, but Dylan and Dave P. have their kids like licking the germs off the floor at Hazel Park. It's
Yes.
like no,
Listen,
no,
I'm a downriver rat, baby.
no, they don't.
It's
so
like
they
a
get
scene
jealous.
from Along Came Polly.
Right.
Like
They
he's
don't-
just fucking rubbing the cashew on the sidewalk and just eating it from Ben
All
Stiller.
the strange Ed Foster, I still don't have an
So
STD
the-
yet. It's done me well. It's done me well.
the Whalers, they might all.
Shout out
they
to
might
Lindsay
all
who's
get-
watching right now. Sorry, babe.
They might all die. They might all die of COVID, but the locker
We
room.
died from COVID?
No one's died.
Fuck no.
But the locker room presence.
Fuck
is there.
no.
Anyway,
We're savages.
Speaking of
over here.
COVID, and this was my little shot, and
We
I know you saw it on
I
Slack.
died choking on a lifesaver.
I know you saw it on Slack because you had my little emoji. You had your 100, but our buddy Piercy, who we fucking love. It's like
I love Piercy.
all I ask with COVID is some consistency. It's like
Okay.
if you're gonna be scared, blah blah blah. But so Piercy, this just shows two things. One, it just shows how scared Piercy is of this guy because
scared of me?
Piercy, our podcast host,
yeah.
will not do the podcast because he's so afraid of Dylan's lifestyle and blah. It's true. He won't do
Is
the
that
podcast.
why?
Really?
He said it to your face.
I know that.
But
Jesus,
But-
Piercy, growing.
But
I know.
so he won't be. Sorry, just burp. So he won't be in a room with. He won't be in the room with Goose. But he's in the
talk to me.
But he's in the bowling league on Friday night.
Me and Piercy talk candidly, face to face,
know.
I mouth kiss him on the side. He's my side piece,
But
dude.
my point
He's
is
bottom, by the way.
my point is to Piercy calling on is like he didn't play hockey on Friday night WBW because of COVID concern. He won't do the podcast because of COVID concern. But he's in a bowling league on fucking bowling alley with poor ventilation, and then he gets exposed to COVID at the bowling alley. You know?
Now, do you think that's him trying to weasel his way out of all this?
Maybe he just hates it. Maybe he just hates us.
I think it's time for the old goose over here. If Paul decides not to let us use this, make the Goose Palace. Hey, I'm gonna throw my thing on the tech thing. Hey, we might have to do it at the Goose Palace.
Piercy's gonna have to call into the Whoop line and leave a voicemail to defend himself.
Hey, maybe I'll let you come as a guest, Piercy.
I was under the impression that Piercy was just like he'd play MNL because he loves it, but he's not doing anything else. Then I find out he's in the bowling league on Friday night.
Bowling league?
Exactly.
Oh
Poor
my
ventilation.
God.
You know,
Kill yourself. You're in a bowling league. You might as well die right now.
Fuck, you might as well be the cashier at fucking Kroger.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Assistant fucking regional manager.
That's my point. Where's the consistency?
Fuck outta
Where's the
here.
He's
consistency?
the bottle boy at the local liquor store.
Oh my god.
You know,
He's Chaldean, so you can say that.
yeah, and I'm Chaldean too. So here's the deal. So
No,
like,
I said you're.
Oh, yeah.
Piercy's not
Yeah,
Chaldean.
yeah, I'm Chaldean.
So
Okay.
you can make the liquor store a
Piercy
bottle
could be
boy.
Chaldean,
You know,
you'd be
everything.
half-
exactly. So here's the deal. That's why I'll never get COVID because I did bottles when I was 10 years old. Disgusting.
There we
fucking
go.
shit.
Bottles.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I
I've
lived in
seen
Down
it
River.
all.
There we go.
I've seen it all.
Yes,
Oh.
that's right.
You know, cigarette butts,
I
bottles,
didn't-
drank from a garden hose.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't do the. I was not a bottle boy, but I was, pledge fraternity, and you have to.
You weren't a bottle boy.
I'm saying you have to
Ever
take the
Crowley
bottles. You
bitch over here.
have to take the bottles as pledges. You got to clean up after the parties and get the bottles, and then you get the fucking magic one with the spitter. Like the dip. It's so fucking.
I've seen it
sick.
all.
Oh, it's so sick.
I've seen
There's
it
nothing
all.
more gross than.
I would
fucking
never
a
be in a
bottle.
fraternity.
Glad those days are
Shit,
over.
what'd you have to do to get in? Wait, what'd you have to do to get in? Because they
Nothing.
hazed you. They didn't haze you at all?
His name was Jim. That's who he
Yeah,
had to do.
yeah. It's not that bad. It's just
Oh,
bullshit. It's not like DSL football where they're
It
putting
gets
the-
weird
when
and
they're
gay
putting
real
their-
quick. Fraternities get weird
I
and gay real quick.
I agree. Some
they
do,
get naked.
but ours don't. But ours don't.
Yours
They
don't?
don't.
There's a story. There's a background story
Yeah.
Troy wants to forget about. The therapist is making thousands of dollars off right now.
Oh, they said I could trust them.
They said,
But, anyways, so I think you've hit on it. But is anything else? Any keys to success for the Americans? But basically, a little more team bonding and a little higher effort
more
level.
silly
And,
goose, huh?
I think we're there. I think,
and showing up.
yeah.
Having your team is half the
Hank
battle.
Breezy with the ankle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what?
But
I've been
right
playing with I've been
right out of
playing
the
with
gate, though. Right out of the gate. It's like whenever we get to play, it's the Tigers, it's right there in front of you. So it's like we got to use this 4 or 5 weeks. We got to hit the gym, got to get the cardio going.
Because you guys
You got to be a leader.
You guys
You
got
got to be a leader. You
you
got
have
to
a
get on the
motivated
cardio.
Tigers.
So my best line from playing in the men's league is, so I get to see a lot of plays develop because I'm always on the bench.
Yep.
So those who can't teach,
Yep.
so I feel like sometimes I can't, so I could teach. And I feel like I could add a couple of things, but sometimes I also like, well, dude, you're like picked 67th overall. Just shut the fuck up.
Yep. I
So
hear you.
so it's a fine line for me
Yep.
because I could easily say, hey, listen, if you're not going to back check, just sit.
Yep.
But that's not my spot.
Yep.
So I'm saying it on the podcast. Hopefully somebody will hear.
Yeah,
it.
I'm even lower spot. I'm the goalie. In these men's leagues, they think the goalie just shut the fuck up and don't say nothing.
Yeah.
I make the plays, I make the plans, and now reluctantly Trent, he's like, but it's been working every.
And
week
listen,
since.
we're not gonna.
So what I'm saying is,
I hate when guys
step
get
up.
in the room and pretend with a chalkboard and they say this, that, and the other thing. Like I'm never gonna be that guy because whatever happens on the ice, it just organically happens.
Yep.
There's no play. There's no coach. There's no nothing.
Yeah.
But if we have a certain set of rules and we start today and we're like, hey, you know what?
Someone with a game plan.
Effort.
Effort.
Is effort.
Effort's key.
Effort's
key.
And listen, I've tell my nephews, and I try to live by this rule. It's like, hey, nephew. My nephews are pretty decent players. I say, hey, what do you do when you don't have the puck? So that's how I approach the ice because I'll never really have the puck.
Well, that's the most dangerous person on the ice.
So
Roughing
I
five.
approach my ice time with what am I doing without the puck? Am I making it harder to play? Am I making it harder to enter the zone? Am I working those corners a little bit harder? And I'd like to think that I am,
Yeah.
but I don't
think
watch
so. I
tape.
think
I
you
don't
are.
do anything.
Tape don't lie. We'll have to start filming
No, I
these
think
things.
you definitely
Shit.
are. I mean, the beginning when you first came into the league, it was like you're a dirty player. I was like, no, you
Got a
ain't a
little
dirty
feist.
player.
Got a little feist.
Feist. That's what I like. That's what I want on my fucking team.
You know what?
I like that shit. I
Well,
like a little
the-
fucking razzle dazzle.
I've said it 1,000 times, but because the margins are so tight and all the teams are evenly matched, so
Yeah.
it comes down to effort quite a bit.
It
you
I
does.
know?
feel like this year
It does.
is even
We're
more
just
than
right
anything.
there. We're there. I think we could.
Oh, I mean, look at the rosters, man. I mean, you guys.
Maybe
and
I
the
could get.
Tigers are-
We talked to Willie earlier, Jason Williams.
Yep.
Maybe
Ah,
he's a
big
good
deal.
coach. Maybe I could get him
Get them on the ice.
not on the ice. Maybe I could get him to come coach us.
There you go.
And they'd be like, "Well, hey,
Suit and
fucking
tie.
Guma
Yeah.
brought this NHLer,
Yep.
You better.
and we better listen."
Guma's got some names to drop. He's got
No,
he's-
no, no,
He's
no.
got Jason
No,
Williams.
no, no,
He's got
stop.
Stevie Watt.
No, no, no,
Got
no.
Robert Lang.
We ain't dropping names, but-
The Robert Lang story is just a story.
He came with.
He's
he come-
more connected.
He came to the MNL draft with Johnny Wharton.
Yeah,
you know?
Johnny's a good friend of mine.
Johnny Wharton. So what did Johnny do after he left? Did he retire from the Wings, or just new regime parted ways, or what did he do?
He retired. I think he went to New York. He did something there for a little bit, and
Because
Yeah,
he was kind of like he was just and it's probably just because the Red Wings are so good. Like right now, no one knows who the fuck the Red Wings trainer are.
No.
But the Red
well,
Wings.
it's Pete Van Zandt.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I have heard that.
Yeah,
name.
which Johnny brought in.
Yeah.
Pete, great guy.
But
Great guy.
the point is, like, the Red Wings were so good that people knew who Johnny Wharton was, maybe because
100%.
he was just a guy. And the same thing when the Pistons were good, they had this trainer Mike Abdenauer.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone knew
Everyone
Abdenauer.
knew he was,
So it's
yeah.
weird, but when you're a good team, people notice that. But so
Yeah,
Wharton-
Johnny's a good dude. Actually, Johnny's girlfriend is my nanny.
Yep.
So, but I've known Johnny before that.
Yep.
Yeah, obviously. So, he's got a great construction company right now. Does
cool.
A1 work. He's very meticulous, just like he was probably with the Wings, and I
Yeah.
think that's why they loved him. So,
Well, it's any successful person. You know what I mean? You
but
gotta
yeah,
have
so
that.
yeah, I brought. He's not a skater.
Yep.
So he'd be like, maybe second to last guy or whatever, pick. But he's a great guy. I brought him in, played on my Tuesday team. Guys loved him. He's got some good stories.
Sure.
That's what it's all
You
about.
know,
locker
so
room guys.
so
That's what
it's
all
good.
about.
He's got and you know what? And
If they want to participate in this, we need more people to participate.
yeah,
Yeah.
The
He's
people
a-
who don't
yep.
want to come, and don't want to hang out with that boob party deck.
yeah.
Love you. Get the fuck out of here. That's when I come here. I don't come here to be the best goalie in the league,
Yeah.
which I am. But
Fucking guy.
no, I come for the silly goose times.
They're on this top of the mountain.
But wait, I
They
do
don't
say
get off it, do
I
they?
do say that, but ask the Seals last year, every single goal, who did I blame? Myself.
Yeah.
This year, the Whalers, who do I blame? Myself.
Oh, well, there you go.
There we go. But keep going.
Yeah. So anyway, so John's a good guy. He's been a good friend of mine. He was we were chit chatting. I said, "Hey, I'm going to this draft. I don't know what to expect. I only know a couple of the guys." He goes, "Oh fuck, I'll come with you.
Yeah.
I've seen plenty of drafts."
He's like, I don't know. I'm probably gonna go somewhere second, third round.
Yeah, no,
It might-
not at all.
If I slip,
I literally said,
might slip to the ninth.
I go, John. There's 10 guys per team, 7 teams. If I'm not 68 or 69, I'd be fucking surprised. And he's like, "Well, at least you're getting picked."
Yeah.
I go, "Well, I think everybody gets picked." So John's a good guy, and the Robert Lang story is funny, just because I always think of Robert Lang and his mom jeans.
Yep.
And and that's when I brought Johnny over to Tuesday night, and it was good stories. Guys were like, "Hey man, this guy looks familiar," or whatever, blah blah. And it's funny because he doesn't drink or whatever, but he'll come out and he'll tell a couple of funny stories
Sure.
from the show, and
Yeah.
stuff
some
that
good
we
stories.
would never hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. You kind of live like, oh fuck, this is
Yeah.
hot,
It was funny because he showed up at the draft, and so everyone knows that Maltby, coaches my son.
Yeah.
So I text Kirk. I'm like, Wharton's here. He said he's got some stories, but he's not allowed to tell them or blah blah blah. And then Maltby's
Kill
like,
stories.
Maltby's like, well, I got stories too, or blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah. But Maltby is a guy like you have to you got to drag the stories out
You
of him.
do.
He's such a modest guy. But one story that I just thought was awesome is there was this one of the Colorado games. Obviously, everyone knows the brawls and blah blah blah. So I don't know what year it was or what series or this or that, but Colorado was winning, and they tried to call out Dominic Hasek for having an illegal stick because the goalie's curves are only allowed to be so far.
I remember that game.
So and Hasek did have an illegal stick, but the equipment manager for Colorado hated the head coach of Colorado at that. It wasn't Crawford. It was someone after Crawford. I don't know.
I remember when
the guy's
they
name.
challenged his stick.
Yeah, but they did. But so the point is, Hasek had an illegal stick, but the equipment manager for Colorado hated their head coach so much because he was such a fucking dick. He tipped off the Red Wings equipment manager because he knew that the Red Wings equipment manager would be the one who would get fucked, if this happened. So he's like, just so you know, they're gonna challenge Dom's stick tonight. So they swapped out. Dom has a legal stick. They pull the they pull the challenge, and then it's wrong. So then the Colorado gets the penalty. Instead of the Red Wing, and then the Red Wings scored a goal, and then win the series, and boom, boom, boom.
I've heard Don has to talk about that 100 times too.
Wow.
And he's a good liar.
He's
a good liar.
The dominator.
Yep.
All I
Favorite
remember
goalie
is
of
him
all
waving
time.
it to bring it back. That's all I remember.
Yep.
Like, give it back, give it back.
What a fucking character that
And
guy
who knows
was,
if that
man.
story's real or not real?
It's
but it's
real
a
on
great
this podcast.
It's a great
Put it on
fucking story.
Wikipedia.
But Maltby's not a storyteller,
No,
it's
he's
like,
not.
So I tend to believe him. And
he's a
and
good.
Boyer's been the equipment manager for the
Forever.
whole run.
Paul's a great guy. Great. It's fuck. Who was it? So it's like, okay, so there's a funny story, and I don't even know I'm allowed to tell this, but
we're
who
allowed.
the
There's
fuck's
20
gonna know?
listeners.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
20 listeners.
We
You might get Me
we
Too.
get about 100 views.
You might get Me
I-
Too 20 years later.
I heard this story like, somewhere in the room, somewhere in the early 2000s, and the story goes like this: Chris Draper
Yep.
and Chris Osgood
Yep.
Yeah.
lived in the Riverfront Apartments.
Yep.
I think
That sounds
okay?
right.
Okay. So answering machines.
Yep.
Okay. So I guess Steve goes to call him one day or something, and the answering machine is like, "Hey, you reached Chris with a K,
Oh God.
and this is Chris with a C.
Oh God.
We're not home right now,
Oh God.
but please leave a message." And Steve's,
Oh, God.
Steve's
The
like,
unfuckables. That's the unfuckables.
God.
looks at the phone like, goes, "What the fuck?" Just hung up.
Oh, I believe it. That's funny.
And it's like, man, you hear like these.
Well, Osgood was like, so Ty, during that run, that's when my older brother Ty was, he was in his early 20s or blah, blah, blah. And it's like it's weird because obviously they were big time, but it's the different, it wasn't quite as big time as they are now. So they used to party at the Joe. They used to party at the Post Bar, which is a hole in the wall shithole bar in down. It's not there. That location's not there anymore, but it was right by Covo Hall, just a little shit ball. And so they'd go from the Joe and then they'd go hang out.
It was
They'd
great.
go hang out
Oh,
at
the
the
back
Post.
room at the
And
Post. Oh
so
my
Ty's
God.
stories are like Osgood, all drunk, would be like, "The only shots I can't stop are the shots at the Post Bar," and blah blah blah.
Oh man, those
But
were some-
they just don't do that anymore.
No, they
these
don't.
Guys, then they can't because if you did that shit today, camera
Instagram,
phones, they'd be fucked.
Patty Kane does it pretty well.
Yeah.
Patty Kane still has zero
Yeah.
fucks given.
Patrick Kane.
Yeah, he still has some
But
stories. Yeah.
I'm just glad. I don't know how these guys. I mean, I was
Which I don't know.
obviously straight laced, pretty. But even myself, it's like I'm glad I didn't have a fucking camera phone when I was in
Oh, man.
college. It's like
Fuck
Jesus
no.
Christ.
I look at my Facebook posts, and that's why I don't get a tattoo, because I cringe every fucking time, man. I delete it right away. I'm like,
Oh,
what the
man.
fuck was I thinking? That was last year,
Oh man.
But I don't know. I think we've covered everything. 11 o'clock. Any other topics that Mr. Guma wants to cover? Is it are you most guys, the ones that are in the league for about a year and a half, they kind of say, this is usually when they come to me and be like, what does it take to be a North Star? Is that has that happened yet?
I couldn't name one guy in the North Stars.
Ben? Well, Ben? Benny
Fuck
Baby?
the North Stars.
I actually could.
Well, that's part. I'm glad you went to the little bar, but you gotta hang out.
I'm so glad.
You gotta hang out a little bit at the party deck, get to know some people.
Oh,
on
yeah,
every,
he did. He's
every
he's,
team and
he's initiated
blah, blah,
already.
blah. So
After
it's
that
good.
night,
Well, no, the invite was great. Did you throw it out there?
probably.
Yeah.
I'm always looking for.
And usually, like I start my day at like 6 a.m.
yeah.
I'm like, fuck, it's Monday, whatever. I'm like, shit. And they're like, hey, we're going to the koozie. And then I'm like, what? why does that place sound familiar? Cozy, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, is that off 10 miles? Like, yeah. I was like, all right, fuck it. I'll come. So, so it was good. It was a good invite. I got to know a handful of guys.
Is there food better than Hyde Park or similar?
Way better.
Dude,
way better.
Americans, if you guys listen to this, Hyde Park is a steakhouse. Okay?
Okay.
They have steaks named after famous people like the Iserman,
Yeah.
the whatever, the blah,
Yep.
blah, blah.
High-end place in
He's
Birmingham.
got
Yep.
the burger named Stan, the black
Let's
guy from
get a
the
win.
casino.
Let's get a win. Hey, it's either that or I pay the other team and lose. Which one?
There you go. There you go. I mean, Hyde Park is a nice place. That would be a talk about
better than the
Cozy.
a team bonding event.
So team dinners are great.
Yeah.
If we, they do it in the NHL. They do rookie dinners, team dinners.
They do it in youth hockey.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Yeah.
fucking better.
And I think they're awesome, man.
have to have it.
And
You have to
I'll
have
tell
it.
you guys a team, kind of like a team dinner. This is actually, I should probably call Willie.
Yeah.
Because he could probably tell the story better than I, but I don't know if he'll.
No, just do it. Just you tell.
So they're out to dinner. They're somewhere on the road or whatever, and a handful of guys are eating dinner and steak and this and that, whatever, and lobster. And
what a nice lifestyle.
yeah.
Yeah.
Steve orders like this expensive bottle of wine, like it's like fucking $900 red wine. This is during the shanty days and
Yep.
everything, whatever. Steve finishes his dinner, grabs a napkin, gets up, wipes his thing, goes, "Thanks for dinner, boys."
There you go. There you go.
Oh, God. That was, that's. I'm sure that happens quite a bit.
Oh, it happens
and
so
that's the
much.
rookie dinner and stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
But there's a great story. There's a great little golf podcast where Padraig Harrington is just an awesome guy, and just your typical. He's got that little accent, and he can just tell a story. So he's telling a story back in the good old days with him and Phil. They used to always play practice rounds, and they'd have bets, and little individual bets, and loser buys dinner. And so he's telling them that they're playing in like this Asian Open or something like that, and Phil won. So Harrington's paying for everything that night, and they're just at this little steakhouse, and they're and Phil's ordering everything, blah blah blah, because Patty's paying, and then there's some kid in the place it's his 21st birthday.
Whoa,
Phil brings him in. He buys like a $2,000 bottle of wine, and Phil's doing this, and then Patty's paying for it, and then he's
Hell
like,
yeah.
so Patty's like, so there's some little kid in Singapore that thinks Phil Mickelson is the nicest motherfucking guy of all time, and it was bad, and I was the one who picked up the bill. So
Oh, man, yeah.
similar
awesome.
story.
It's awesome hearing stuff like that.
Yeah, it is.
Yep, I think that was on like the No Lane Up podcast, but that's a great golf podcast if you like podcasts. But anyways, all right, boys. Well, I think
wrap.
11 o'clock we did it, and
We went off
hopefully
the
we did
rails a
few-
little bit in
it's
a
fun.
nice way.
It's fun.
Have a great Thanksgiving. Be safe.
Yeah, hopefully.
Love you, boys.
Hopefully we'll be on the ice soon.